Hi, and welcome back. This is Randy Shannon with the Food for Life Planting Foundation. Most of you know me as the founder of TheBodyCan.com, and that's an exciting project. I recently finished off all of my schooling, everything that was required to be a naturopathic doctor. And my education hasn't stopped there. I study every single day. I've worked with numerous doctors now. I've toured with some of the doctors that are here locally in Miami, and I go to their offices and I get around their clients and their patients to see what's going on, and I get a little bit of hands-on in that. I spent some time up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin with an acupuncturist there, and while I was out in Las Vegas going through school, I actually hung out with a couple of emergency room. They were both veterans, served in the military, emergency room doctors, and each of them had their own specialties. So I have definitely gotten around. I spend quite a bit of time on the phone with them, and I love what I do. My heart is totally in this, and I hope that that projects to you guys. I think it does. And I hope to continue to share a path with you for many, many years to come. I feel like my friends that are on Facebook that we communicate with and dialogue with all the time, and on the TheBodyCan website are actually an extension of my family. And I love being around you guys. I love some of the communications and messages and phone calls and meetings, and I hope it never stops. But one thing you guys don't know about me is years ago, I started an organization called the Food for Life Planting Foundation. This is just a private membership group, and the website itself, if you look on the screen, is facebook.com/groups/Food for Life Planting Foundation. And what I'd like to do is just kind of go through it and show you some of the things that we did back when it first got started back in 2009. This was just a passion of mine, giving back to the community. So I spent quite a bit of time calling around to the local tree nurseries, and there's lots of them here in South Florida. And I found out who would sell to us at wholesale, or as close to wholesale as we could get. I wanted mature trees. The oldest that they had was 3 years of age. And this organization made a deal with us that if we bought in bulk a certain amount, that they would sell it to us at wholesale. Anyone can do this. And I'm more than happy to guide people. I'm actually putting together a little pamphlet about it. We're hoping for $25 donations, and all that does, look, nobody's getting wealthy here. We need to do updates on the site. Programmers cost money. That is not something that I do personally, so I have to hire it out. And we want to get some updates, and as people have contacted us from around the country that are starting their own little Food for Life Planning Foundation extensions, we want to feature that and put them up on the website. And we have not done updates for years. So these are just some of the pictures of people that got involved in our organization. And we didn't put these photos up until later, and social media really wasn't our things. As you can see, there's no likes on this because we just weren't doing this back then. They may have gotten posted, but we sure as heck didn't know how to operate through the social media back in those days. But on our first tree drive, it was so successful. We had over 400 trees go out the door. We took some pictures, didn't know how valuable these pictures would be one day, as we come back to it. And we're going to take it to another level and just kind of get it out there. These are just happy faces, happy people that got involved. This one actually in the middle here is a pastor currently up in Fort Lauderdale, and he ordered quite a few, plucked up out of his yard, just the regular things that he had, and ended up putting in things that were edibles. And he took it to his church, etc. There's just so many different things. So on this page here, there's just a lot of information. We talk about food, and we talk about the hungry, and we give different guides to edible foods. It's kind of a really fun thing that we've been doing, and we have different contributors, and we just try to keep it all educational. It's just a fun project, and we would love for everyone to be involved in this, that wants to be involved, that likes to give back. As you can see, we've been putting some posts in here. I have brought on some people, a little team of social media marketers, and they kind of keep the content going. And now it gets some attention. Now that we've actually invited some people to the page, there are people liking it. There are people sharing the different posts. This one just went up today, and it actually is a really neat video. And we just kind of put these things out there for everyone to take a look at. Spice charts. Some of these things are things that you can just print off, hang them up wherever you want. If you're into cooking or doing things in a healthy, organic manner, then this is the place to be. We put up stories in there about, you know, how important the bees are. The bees are near and dear to our heart, because without honeybees, our food supply will completely go away. All the chemical spraying, all the chemicals that are put on the ground are extremely unhealthy. Did an interview yesterday with a gentleman on the merger between Monsanto and Bayer. Put some fun things on the page as well. So one of our sister groups is the Secrets to Cancer Community, another one where we have tons and tons of content. Want to make sure you get out there and you check that out. This has been a very important post about deodorants and their toxicity. Lots of comments, lots of shares, as you can see, 31 shares. And we have all kinds of posts like this, very, very educational. A private group that I started here, Get a Doctor's Note. This is all across the country. We have doctors involved, NDs, naturopathic doctors, as well as medical doctors that are associated with us. And if you're sick, you need to go back to work, you're going to get fired, lose your job, school and work are the main ones. You can actually get a doctor's note. So some are naturopaths, some are medical. So we just left the front end off of that. And then our original page on Facebook was, let me put the link up there, facebook.com/TheBodyCan, all lowercase. That's very critical. Facebook does differentiate. And on here we have lots and lots of posts, really good information. We found out that running a page, we didn't have some abilities, and so we moved over after we had built this up. I think this has currently 2,500 plus people on this page, and lots of posts. For some reason they're not coming up, but there we go. Pharmaceutical industry does not create cures, it creates customers. This is a really good post that just went up. As you can see, lots of people have viewed this or been exposed to it. 631 people out of our group of 2,500 plus people. But this is our main one, the TheBodyCan group. You can look at the domain up there, facebook.com/groups/TheBodyCan. All of these are spin-offs, you guys, from the Food for Life Planning Foundation. And this one is the one that I'm on the most. Sorry about that graphic little video there. That was actually pretty informative. And it was just posted a couple hours ago. In fact, all of this is new information here. We'll scroll down to some of our posts as we get into it. Yeah, as the posts go, if you go deeper into them, tons of great information, lots of great shares. You know, the bottom line about this one is medical doctors aren't trained in nutrition. Most likely you absolutely know more than they do, and you for sure will after you get through this page, this group page. So there is a fake page out there created by someone. We just don't understand why they did it, but they did, and they used my photo. So make sure that you are going to the right addresses. Facebook.com/groups/TheBodyCan. Okay, and the other one was TheBodyCan.com. If you look at the picture there. And look, this has been the logo on it since day one. And this is proprietary, copyrighted, and we had this created special. So you would know the difference. One has 2,500 people. The fake has nobody on it. So just don't get fooled by that. Somebody that's got to be a little bit mental that would even want to do that, put that together. But this is our better one. Almost 15,000 people. It kind of fluctuates. Sometimes people come and go. or they got invited on it by somebody and it really wasn't their thing. So we do go back and forth on that one. We've been playing with 15,000 subscribers. As you can see, more content, you know, just put up 16 hours ago by somebody, 7 shares, and around 30 people that have liked it. This is the homepage, TheBodyCan.com. And there is so much good information in here. Lots to read, but, you know, take the time, go through it. There's nothing in there that's going to waste your time. If you want to talk to me directly, you actually can. Hire me for different health issues, just concerns, anything that you want. There's actually a link there that you click, and I want to know about you. I want to know what's going on. So I've put a form on there that if you click the download now button in green, it'll download it to your computer, and that will give me the information that I need. Pricing's going to change on this a little bit, but you can schedule a 30 to 60 minute message or session with me, and we can actually go over whatever it is that's ailing you. So all kinds of information here, as you can see, different tabs that come out on some of them. And we have some shopping opportunities. You can contact us. Press release here on the contact. I was actually one of the contributing authors to a book called America's Star Entrepreneurs, Profiles and Philosophies. This is an incredible book. All kinds of stories of people that went from tragedy to triumph and how they did it, and advice on how you can survive it. I have it up there, so inexpensive. And basically that's a donation. When you do that, all that is doing is helping to maintain the websites. Nobody's getting wealthy off of that. We're trying to keep our prices as low as we possibly can. There's a section on there that is about me. I highly recommend that you go read it. Some good information there. It'll help you to get to know me. And then places to shop. I have some things that I do personally that I have my kids do, whether it's detoxes, where I get my bone broth from, where I get my minerals from. You know, just extremely important things that we have to have in our bodies every single day. And we want you to be functioning as optimally as you possibly can. We are also on Instagram. We have a really fun Instagram page. This was one of my favorites from yesterday. We have some videos in there. Videos seem to get more traffic. You know, we're not putting a ton of time into this, but as you can tell, there's quite a few posts, and there's information on every single one of them. There's a story that goes along with them. These all will link back to this page. They will all actually post on that page. But if you want something fast and now and have it shot to your phone, then go ahead and join us on the Instagram page. Again, that page is instagram.com/TheBodyCan. We are also on Twitter, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is under my personal name, Randy Shannon. There's a whole bio on there. We have all kinds of articles that are listed there. There's, you can actually scroll through all the different articles that I write. Sometimes I do reprints of other people's articles if I feel like the content is really good. So just make sure that you are checking those out. And then my personal Twitter page is twitter.com/Randy Shannon. RANDISHANNON. I actually have one on Instagram as well. In fact, let's try and bring it up. I think that should do it. That is a private page. You do have to request a following there, and we will be in touch with you there. So best way to reach out for now is to fill out the contact form on this page. It'll come straight to our phones, and we can get on that right away. Also, any kind of messaging here on Facebook, if you just Facebook message Randy Shannon or on the TheBodyCan group, we will most definitely get back to you. This is my personal page. So if you would like to send a friend request there, you certainly can. Let me click on that. So back to the one that's so important to me, and I feel like it should be to you. You know, with the climate in the country right now, and even around the world, food is critical. I believe in programs where you plant seeds in obscure places, places that you're not going to sit there and garden. Throw some seeds in state parks, national parks. Get some food in the ground. You just never know if you have to travel. If you're a believer in the Word, then it talks about your flight, whether it be in the winter or summer. I don't care which angle you're coming from, but I believe if we put food from end to end in this country, that we will be far better off. The homeless will be better. If you grow enough on your own property, you can donate to the battered women's shelters. I have been assaulted. I have been abused by someone that was important in my life, someone that I loved greatly. And I have such a respect for the people that help the women that are in these battered women's shelters. They help the women and the kids. The homeless shelters, the veterans groups, you know, all of these people would love food. Donate to your local church, to your local charity. You know, do some food drives of your own and get out there and participate in the community. You know, having possessions and everything is really, really nice and fun, but at the end of the day, you can't take any of it with you. So it's about what you give back and operating from your heart, not always from, you know, your mind and the race to be successful and the race to have things. At the end of the day, the things won't go with you, but you're going to have a lot of satisfaction in what you can give back. And I love this one in particular, start a revolution. I didn't create this image, but I love it, and we adopted it here. You know, this is about planting edible foods. Food production has long been linked to the politics in this country and others. That's a control thing. So don't be controlled. I spoke with somebody who's got some health issues, a good friend of mine, just a few days ago. And he said, look, we just don't have organic grocery stores around. And I said, that's why you have to have a section of your land and you need to get some seeds in the ground. Heirloom seeds are out there. They're all over the place. We're putting together some packages for 1-acre gardens and 5-acre gardens, survival type seed packages where things would grow faster and you could survive off of them. But we all eat, and we all eat numerous times every single day. Food is everything. So start your own revolution. You know, Thomas Jefferson, it says right here, he believed America was incapable of true democracy unless 20% of its citizens were self-sufficient on small farms. This would enable them to be the real dissenters, free to voice opinions and beliefs without any obligation to food producers who might hold their survival at stake. Why does he say that? He says it because he witnessed things like that. They literally hold your survival at stake if you don't control your own food sources. So the other part of that is, I had a friend of mine today that sent me a message, and he said, oh, I'm thinking about fajitas and tortillas and refried beans and rice. And I said, make sure it's all organic. And he said, oh, like I have time for that. And you know what? I understand the time crunch. I understand it. But it is poison, sheer poison, if you are not eating organic food, because it has been sprayed with chemical if it's not organic, without a doubt. And many of you have heard my story. Back in Iowa, we had gotten from a feed store about 50 little chicks one year. And we raised them up. They were completely free range. And they did what was normal to them, which was go eat the bugs, scratch at the grass, scratch at the little rocks on the ground, and, you know, eat from that. That is their diet. And when they laid an egg and you cracked open that egg and ate it, that was a golden yellow yolk. I mean, it was orange. It was more deep yellow or an orange color. And that's because they were eating their normal diet. It was very healthy. But then the genetically modified corn went in the field. The farmer planted the field next to the farm I was on. And when he planted that, when he took it out, it grew all season long. When he took it out at the end of the season, every wild animal went out there every single day. I watched birds, deer, raccoons, including our free-range chickens, run out into that field and eat that grain every single day. And when my chickens laid eggs after that, they had no hard outer shell because that food was genetically modified. Now think about where all that goes. That goes into dog food, cat food, people food. You eat the animal, then the animal becomes, it's going through your system, and they're eating something that is clearly population control type of corn. So what do I mean by that? Well, when an egg is laid by a chicken and it has no hard outer shell, that chicken is never going to, that little chick and that soft outer membrane that it had would never grow to a live chicken. It was impossible because they need that hard outer shell. And my chickens didn't have it anymore. So that meant there would be no more generations from my chickens unless I could keep them out of that field and get them back on a regular diet. Now think about all the wild animals. They go out and they were having babies of their own. What happened to those in the wild? People, we need to dig deep on this. We need to start looking at what is in our food and taking a stand on it. You just can't take for granted that just because it's in the grocery store, it's good. You can't. So as this image says, there will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. That's the bottom line. You know, the tomatoes, if you look at that right there, I'm here in South Florida and there's some huge tomato farms down in the Keys, and they get sprayed so heavily. I've watched those spray guys walk through there with hazmat suits on. I was driving through there and literally had to leave the area because the fumes even got through my car and they were blowing in. So if it was so toxic to drive through, can you imagine what it is to eat? Those toxins totally permeate that fruit or vegetable, and then you are eating it. It's no wonder you have digestive problems. It's no wonder that there is just sickness all over the place. These people were happy to participate. I want you to be happy to participate as well. So please join us here on our Facebook group, Food for Life Planting Foundation. There is another page. Let me just go show you. I don't want anybody to mess this up. I need to make the page not seeable. Maybe it's not going to show. There's an actual page. This is the group. So just remember, facebook.com/groups/Food for Life Planting Foundation. Before we know it, this page is going to be over 10,000 people. And we want you to be a part of it. So that's really all I had to say. I just wanted to touch base. Please join all of our groups, all of our pages. Don't get tricked by the fakes. If you're wondering, send us a personal message and we'll set you straight. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, this is where this video will be. Go to youtube.com/TheBodyCan. We're brand new on this venue. We have 140 subscribers at this moment, and we have quite a few videos. So make sure you get involved. There's one video there in particular that you should definitely watch. We just put this up recently.